And I was just very struck by how those emotions of love, time and death that we all have to go through at some point in our own lifetime, somehow I found their use of those themes within this movie, the use of those abstractions, incredibly moving and very, very powerful. And it sort of reminded me of It's a Wonderful Life in a way, you know, the sense that that we've all got an angel if we only sort of take a moment to think about it, and that we can all stop and listen and learn something from someone else. That's a moving time of year as well, I think, for a lot of people. It's a time that represents family, it represents togetherness for some people, and I think that that's also a big theme of this story. You know, it's families pulling apart, coming back together, times trying to understand deep human emotions, you know, at a time of year when we're all supposed to be so happy. Will has this charisma that I swear I think, very rarely seen in my life. You know, he can bring a whole room alive honestly, just by smiling and laughing, because he's got a smile and a laugh that are both very distinctive things, and a presence and a strength about him that is really very palpable. I think that audiences will connect with a very simple and beautiful story that is ultimately about real emotion that we have all probably experienced at some point or another in our lives. Those of us who haven't experienced grief are extremely fortunate. And anyone who has experienced grief will know that you never get over it, you learn to live with it. And I think that the film very delicately handles that in a way that is touching, yes, moving, but doesn't leave you feeling as though you've been put through an emotional ringer and have to go home and pull yourself together again. He's a great storyteller. You know, David films the story. He doesn't try and do anything too clever. He kept it as simple as he could, without making it in any way one-dimensional. You know, we were hugely helped, all of us, by this lovely, gorgeous screenplay written by lovely Alan Loeb. And David, you know, I actually would look at him and I think, oh God, poor you, because he had all these actors, you know, and there's nothing more wonderful for an actor than being in a room full of actors. But I imagine for a director, there's nothing more potentially a complete nightmare than being in a room full of actors, especially ones like we are, who are full of ideas and want to change things and experiment with something, and oh my God, I know, let's do this and let's do that. And he was completely brilliant at letting us improvise and experiment with things, but there were also definitely times where he would say, let's just should we just do what's on the page? Oh God, for you. We'd go, yes, absolutely. We will absolutely do exactly what's on the page. And then we never really would either. So I would kind of feel for him, you know. He's an incredibly patient man. He's just really kind. And as a filmmaker, I just feel he tells a sincere story.